Hi guys, this is Mr. Medina. Sorry I was on that other screen for a second. I just want to give you a quick recap for the week of August 17th through 21st. Now, before I go too far into just even this intro, I want you to know these videos are not mandatory unless it is me saying, hey, watch this for an assignment. When it says recap or tutorial, they're just my ways of processing the way I think and the way I see my own children learning, and then hoping that can help some of us in our classroom. Okay, so I'm going to start each one of these videos by letting you know what we're going to talk about. I'm going to do that in just a second on the next screen, as well as the week. And if you feel like, man, I know all those things, please don't feel like you need to keep watching the video. You just keep doing your thing and, helping us, the rest of us who are struggling a little bit, to keep going. Okay, so the three topics for this week are Google Classroom, and by now you have some great experience, although I am still seeing some people turning in answers in the wrong place. So for assignments, if you are great at knowing where to turn in an assignment or where to type your answer when it's a question, and you're not accidentally putting it in the wrong place, that without a shadow of a doubt, excuse me, then you're good to go. You don't need Google Classroom. Flipgrid, my comments on Flipgrid, if you made your video and if I had you this week and you responded to two people and you're like, I got that down, hopefully you enjoy that, you're good to go. And then Clever, the school district really wants us using Clever. I think it's a great tool. Mr. Jervis thinks it's a great tool, and so do the teachers at Parkview. So we're all on board to use it, and I'll show you. If you've never gone there, my suspicion is most of you already are, but even to get to my classroom, we haven't really been using it. So I'm going to show you how to get there because some of you haven't used it yet, and I want to make sure you're able to get there. Okay, but if you know Google Classroom, you know Flipgrid, you know Clever, you are dismissed from class. Everybody else, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is Google Classroom, and I'm going to get out of this little presentation that I made. Excuse me, got a little tongue-tied there. And what I want to actually, before I get out of it, let me go back into it. Navigating assignment. So I chose the word navigating on purpose because, guys, it's like we're on a boat. It's like each person has their individual boat trying to sail through the internet, right? We're trying to sail from Google Classroom or from Clever to Google Classroom to Flipgrid. Some people are using Padlet. Some people are using Freckle. Even something as simple as Kahoot, the gaming app. There's all these things now to go for. And then, like I said, within a program of its own, like Google Classroom, sometimes it's hard to know where to go there. So if you can get to Google Classroom through Clever starting as soon as you see this video, that would be fantastic. And what I want to show you is what I did is, and I let her know about it, I added my daughter to one of my classes. That way I could see how she sees. And my screen is a little different from the teacher's view. But now that I'm in, you see this B, that's for my little daughter, Bay. Now that I'm in Bay's eyes, I can see, all right, already there's a grades tab here that I have that she doesn't have. And so it's stream, classwork, and people. Okay, so for classwork, you guys already pretty much know about the stream, right? It does get long if you're looking for something, but you guys are good at scrolling, so I'm not too worried about that. And then for classwork, what I've done so far is I've broken things down into little topics or folders. So let's say, again, instead of in the stream kind of looking for something, you just want to go to classwork and look for the YouTube link. You can literally click on that, and now you would find everything under YouTube. The Google Slides, okay, right there. And all these comments here, I'm going to address that in a little bit. Same thing, Google Docs, Flipgrid, Zoom. And then if you click all topics, you're right back to the original screen, okay? And these are going to be our main things to focus on this month. I'm going to try my hardest not to add to this, so that if we can get our Zoom meetings down, and we're going to have technical difficulties here and there. We're not going to stress about those things. But if we can just, be on time, get our computers connected as good as we can do, we're going to be that much farther ahead when we go into September, okay? Same thing with Flipgrid. Google Docs, for now, don't pay any attention to this. Even if you click on it, you're just going to get a blank document. I just have it here because eventually when we write essays or paragraphs or answer questions in complete sentences, we'll be using a lot of the Google Docs tab, okay? So I wanted to make sure it was there. Google Slides, we already have an assignment in there, and I'm going to click on that one now. Okay. Oh, and then this last one for the YouTube page. But if you're watching this video, you've already found it. Okay. So if I click on the little icon here, it gives me a real quick overview of the assignment, but I'm not actually in the assignment yet. And what can happen is, you see that there's comments here. Some people can add to the comments and sometimes think that they're answering questions and turning in assignments that way, and that's not how you do it. What you want to do is you want to view the assignment, and it doesn't matter what it is. So it could be something like the tell me the 3 things on the first day of school. People started writing on the comments, and they answered the question in the comments. But to get credit, this is actually a better example. You want to click view the question. Now I can still see the comments, and you know what? I could still add comments if I wanted to, but now I wouldn't get any credit. If Bailey was really in my class, she wouldn't get any credit. Look at this right here where my cursor is now getting bigger. This is where your answer goes. This is where you turn it in. And you see this gray bar? Look at what happens. When I start typing my answer, all of a sudden now I have a blue button, and I click turn in. It says it's turning it in, and I've turned in my answer. And so then when I go to the teacher page, I can go to people's classwork, and I can see how many people have turned it in. Not just how many people got the assignment, but how many people turned it in. So make sure you're doing that button every time you click on something that I'm asking you to do in Google Classroom. Okay? And let's say you don't like your answer. You can click the edit button and typing my other answer. Okay? And then click turn it, and you're good to go. All right, so let me go back to, oops. You got to let it go through or else it'll discard it. Let me go back to, oh, I guess I don't need to save those comments. That answer. Let me go back to the Google slide. I'm sorry, I'm going fast. I don't want to make this a super long video for you. So I click on view assignment. Now for this one, she has it here just like you would. She can click on it. It is going to open in another window, right? It's going to open in another tab. And we all have a bunch of tabs on our computer right now. Sometimes our computers are not moving very fast because of it. I understand. This Google slide, you were to do the slides that you could on that first day. And then I said, continue working on the other one. Some people got done early. They wanted to move on. So I said, go for it. Do slide 4. And now every slide is basically to be completed by Monday, okay, when we resume on the 24th, I believe it is. So she would click on it. Let's say she's got her first answer. Oops, first answer here. Okay, second answer here, and on down the line, okay? She doesn't want to click the share button, right? Do not click that. Even last year, the older kids even do this. A lot of times they'll finish an assignment, and parents, if you're listening, you can help with this too, and click the share button. Now, it will let you do it, and I'll get it, but it'll get kind of lost in my email, okay? So she could share it with me, but it will get lost in my email, and so that's not the best way to turn in an assignment. It's not the quickest way for me to grade it either, and I want to get your work back to you faster. So again, once she's answered those, it's going to save her answers. I'm going to open it to make sure. Let's go to that third slide. Okay, so we go to the third slide. Look, first answer, second answer, just like we had it. So now she could close that tab and look at what we have, the turn in button. And this time, because it's a slide or a file, like a Google Doc or something, it's gonna say, are you sure? Like turn in your work, question mark. It's giving you a chance to look at it again. You could click on it again if you want to make sure your work is there. And then as soon as you're done, click turn in, gives it a couple seconds. And now you're one of those people that have turned it in. I could see it from the teacher page. You're good to go. Let's say you forgot a slide though. Just like on the question where you can edit, you can unsubmit your work, okay, and go back in, make changes, make the changes you want to make, and then turn it in again, okay? Hopefully you get everything done that you want to get done. You turned it in, you're good to go. But just in case, if you're not turning work in up here in the upper right corner, you're probably putting it in the comment section. And I noticed there was a student, I think it was this one. Oh gosh, it might have been another one. But somewhere on another assignment, Grace, if you're listening or watching, was telling the students, hey, I think you guys are putting it in the comments. You need to turn it in the upper right hand corner. So good job, Grace. I appreciate that very much. All right, next thing is Flipgrid. So the two things I'm going to talk about quickly in Flipgrid are finding directions and recording videos. And this will go much faster than Google Classroom. So with Flipgrid, again, I logged in as my daughter so that I could see what you guys see. And this also looks very different from my screen. I don't even need to show you my screen to confuse you. But the directions are always here. And I like that Flipgrid has like all this color and all this other kind of interesting stuff. And the more topics we get, it's not going to just say view one topic. You can have other, assignments to do. But make sure that you're reading, even though the text is kind of small, that you read it all. I mentioned it, and that no one has to redo their video, but it said to spin the wheel 2 times, right? So you were to click on the wheel and then introduce yourself. Hi, my name is, and then click the wheel. Find out what you were going to get asked. And so if I spun it, best gift I've ever received. So I just said, hi, my name is Mr. Medina. The best gift I've ever received is my wonderful wife, April. I hope she gets to hear this. Okay. Then I would have spun it again and said, hi, my name is Mr. Medina. My best gift ever is my wonderful wife, April. And the most adventurous thing I've ever done is be an extra on a TV show. That was a lot of fun, and it was pretty adventurous for me. I can be shy sometimes. Okay, so be very careful that you're reading all the directions. I'll even try to put them in a step 1, step 2 format if that helps a little bit. But don't skip over the little bit of extra, because as we go further into the year, if you only did one, a lot of people only answered one question, then that's really half credit, right? And some teachers might be a little more strict about that. All right, so now what you're doing is, so let's say you got to this for the first time. What you want to do is click this red button to record your response. And it walks you all the way through, like step by, it even says, I think, step 1, prepare for a 30-second video. Choose your filter. You can put an emoji of it walks you through every single step. I don't even want to do it right now to save some time. But this is the button right here, this record a response button. In fact, what the next step in this Flipgrid is you're going to be watching a couple of your classmates' videos. So let's pick Owen here, because Owen used a cool filter. So we got Owen's video, right? So the assignment was, okay, listen to what Owen has to say. And then you're going to come down here, and where it says add a comment, That's what this is. Okay? That's what this is. So Nicholas and Mason have both answered Owen. Okay? And again, it all comes down to these red buttons. Either record a response, add a comment, record a response. It's usually going to be, now Flipgrid used to use this green plus button, but they've changed. So if you used Flipgrid last year and you're looking for the green button and wondering, well, why can't I find that? I don't know where to go to record. It's now red, and that's why. Okay? All right, I didn't want to play anyone's complete video. Oops. Oh, and it automatically goes to the next video. Yeah, so that's the basics, the nuts and bolts of it. And I can just kind of skim and see really quick if I hover over. Sometimes it'll start auto playing and I can see what the response was. And you guys are doing a great job. I know this is period 2, but every single one of my classes so far, you guys have been doing a great job. All right, so the last thing, and I know I've already gone long, so thank you for hanging in there with me this long. Clever. This is the starting point. If you were running a race on a track and you had to get on the track and you're on the block, they call it the starter's block, you hear the gun go off and bam, it's time to go, right? So Clever is where to log in every single day. And if you're going to say, so what do you mean? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to clever.com, okay? And oops, that's my page. And this is the page you're going to see. Okay, cute little girl. She's got her teacher there waving. And you're going to, up here, click login as a student. Okay, then it's going to give you another page. Another cute little girl, or maybe it's the same one, not sure. You're going to log in with your Google account, your Gmail school account. And I actually have a couple, 3 daughters I can choose from to be logging into. They're probably like, Dad, you're messing up my attendance here. Okay, so if I log into hers, these are her teachers, okay? And she would start at whatever their page is. Mine, okay, for Mr. Medina's class, if I could find it. Oh, I have to log out, sorry. I have to log out as her and log in as me. Mine is going to look exactly like theirs. Let me show it to you. I didn't know I was going to get kicked out. And the only icon, I'll say this while it's loading, the only thing in my Clever right now is Google Classroom. So if you go to it, it's not going to be too confusing as far as like, what app should I pick, or where do I need to go now? For right now, for my Clever, the way I've set it up, I decided I'm not going to put Flipgrid in there. I'm not going to put anything else in there. YouTube. I didn't put anything else in there except for Google Classroom. So that way, here we are finally. That way, when you click on it, it's going to take you to your Google Classroom page. Now, what does this do? If you're wondering why. What this does is it lets the school district know that you're involved, that you're in online school. So, I got all these names here of people that logged in at some point today. And then I have others that I probably saw or that other teachers saw, but they didn't come through on Clever. There's been a little bit of announcements about Clever, but not this, huge push to do it. Well, now you're going to start hearing Clever, 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 Clever. So we might as well do it sooner rather than later. Okay. So if you see this and you have a class with me still tomorrow, or we get through the weekend on Monday, try to remember, especially if I have you first, like period 1, come to Clever first and then hit Google Classroom from Clever. And if you say, I've never been to Clever, well, if you go to the school's website, Mr. Jervis has put it, so you go to the very top, you see the Eagle logo, the Eagle picture, Aries. Just go down a little bit further, and right here, it says Clever for PVMS students. My guess is within a week, if not tomorrow, there's probably going to be a big blue button on the school website that says Clever. Okay, so it's on the homepage of the school, and it doesn't have an icon yet. It doesn't have the blue C, but I bet you soon that it will. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. This was a little bit longer than I intended to go. You guys are awesome. Have a fantastic evening if that's when you're seeing this, morning, noon, or weekend, and I will see you in class. Take care.